Hello everyone, welcome to the Canadian Edge. Time for another knife review. If you've been enjoying these, I would ask that you hit the like and the subscribe button, leave a comment. Today we're switching things up a little bit. I'm not doing a pocket knife. We're going to be doing a fixed blade knife. I haven't done a fixed blade for a little while and thought I would do another one here. And today this one is the Gerber LMF II survival knife, and some of you might be familiar with this knife. It is a big heavy-duty knife, and I'm just going to slide the sheath out of the way here a little bit. Gerber made this. This was actually designed for air crew to help them get out of a downed airplane. Gerber claims that this thing will cut through fuselage of an airplane, smash out windows, and you can cut wiring and do different things with this. So we're gonna take a look at some of that as we look at the knife. So this is the Gerber LMF II survival knife. It has a blade length of 4.84 inches. Overall, it's 10.59 inches. The steel on this is a 420 high carbon stainless steel. The weight of it is 11.67 ounces. And with the sheath, it is 24.28 ounces. The handle on this, it is a glass-filled nylon with a TPV overmold. The sheath on this, it is a ballistic nylon with a fire retardant coating. And it also has, I don't know if that's Kydex or a plastic. I never did find out. But yeah, it's durable. Durable sheath. And it also comes with 2 leg straps and a built-in sharpener in the sheath as well. So you can sharpen this thing out in the field when you're out there, which makes sense if you built this for military purposes. And so I'm just gonna slide that to the side because that takes up a lot of room, and we'll focus more on the knife itself. Yeah, I mentioned the leg straps. It also comes with, and I don't know where we put it, it does come with a little tool and pouch that is a belt cutter as well, so that you can cut straps safely, seat belts and different things. Not that you couldn't cut them with this, but it's just a safer way to cut it. So looking at this knife, it is it's got a good grip on it, and you'll also notice, well, you notice if I show you, on the back here is a heavy butt plate that goes over this, and it does have the lanyard hole and glass breaker, and also it has a flat edge that you could use this as a hammer to hammer things, whatever it is you might need to be hammering. And so the lanyard hole, and it also has the 2 holes up here. You can tie this to a branch or a walking stick and that, and use it as a spear. So it comes in handy if you have to hunt for things or just need a spear for protection. You can use it as well for that. It does have a 4/5 tang in the handle. It stops just down here, and the reason they did that was the brake does 2 things. It helps with shock absorption, so that if you're hammering things, you don't have all the vibration going through. But the biggest reason is that it insulates against shock, because they, as I say, made this for pilots and aviation people, and if they're in a plane and they have to cut through wires for any reason, they're not going to get shocked because the handle is now insulated. So pretty ingenious design that Gerber came up with, and they were obviously thinking. So I like that. And then you can attach this a lot of different ways. Onto your leg, onto webbing, different ways that you can attach that. All the military guys would have lots of ideas on how that can be attached and carried in the field if you so desired to carry this. So I haven't used this knife. My wife, actually, I got this for her for when she does camping, but it's a little heavy for the hikes that she does, so she uses it for mostly car camping. And so I haven't personally used this knife myself, and I would have loved to have done field testing for you, but my days of field testing are over thanks to my muscular dystrophy. I am not able to get out and do that kind of stuff anymore. So unfortunately, you'll just have to take the small testing that I do here in this video. But I do like the multi-purpose aspects of this knife. You've got the half serrated blade, so it's good for cutting ropes, and I imagine it would go through wire fairly well. The hammer aspect of it and glass breaker makes it good, and the fact that you can tie this on if you were out in the bush and had to survive for a while. This would be quite handy, and you can see there is quite a bit of meat to the blade there. It's pretty thick, so this will take a lot of abuse, I'm sure. And then having the sharpener in the sheath allows you to do some sharpening. The ergonomics on it are pretty decent. It is, of course, a little more heavy at the butt end due to the fact that you have this heavy butt plate back there, so probably wouldn't be great as a throwing knife, although if you did throw it, it's probably going to hit butt first, and it would still do a lot of damage, especially with that point and stuff. So, but yeah, definitely not a throwing knife, but it is a work knife. So let's see if it does have an edge on here. I haven't even checked the edge on this thing to see what... It seems to have a little bit of an edge, although it shred through there. Might have to run it through the sharpener, although probably not cutting a lot of paper if you're out in the bush and things like that. So see how it goes through here. Oh, made short work of the zip tie, so we know it would be good in that aspect. And see if I cut my cords long enough here. So yeah, it cuts through that pretty easy. So the blade does have sharpness to it. And try not to use the serrated part. Yeah, just pulled that back and it cut over. So it is fairly sharp. It would definitely do stuff out in the field if you were using it. For me, one of the things I'm not crazy about, it is a heavy knife, so you would definitely notice if you were carrying this around for a couple days, it would weigh, because it's almost like a hammer with the weight, 11.67 ounces just by itself, so it's got a bit of weight to it. And one of the things that I've noticed is it is really hard, and I appreciate this if you developed it for military. I don't know if I can even get it to go in there. It has those, no, well, kind of. It has these two pieces here that hold it in place. You wouldn't even need these straps to hold it in place, because once it's in there, it's locked in there. It's not going anywhere, and it's actually pretty difficult to pull out. So you wouldn't pull it out quickly, but I get that they don't want it, if you're in a plane crash or something like that, they don't want it to be flinging out of the sheath and flying around and becoming a hazard to you or losing it. So I get that they make it hard to get out of the sheath, and that would loosen up too with use, but initially it is fairly difficult to get it in and out of the sheath. So those are just a couple little dislikes, but if you're a person out in the bush who wants to really use and abuse a knife, I'm pretty sure this one would stand up to a lot of that and be quite useful in that aspect. And as I said, it's got good grip. You definitely not going to slip a lot with this thing in your hand. You could do a lot of jobs with it, and it's safely in your hand. And you can see, like, I have a medium size hand, so you guys with bigger hands, you've still got some purchase in there, and it would fit a bigger hand quite easily. And so it would be, I would say it would be a great knife for out in the bush if you're doing stuff and working out there. Probably not so much in your backyard, although you could use it in your backyard as well if you're working out in the yard doing things, but definitely out in the bush, and if you were military, it could be a very handy knife for that as well. So that is the Gerber LMF II survival knife, and you can find these at a lot of places. Cabela's carries them. A lot of online stores carry them, and they have different varieties that you can get. You can also get tanto blade on them, and different handles, and they vary in price, but you can find, as I say, a different variety, and hopefully find something you like if you need a knife like this for out camping or out in the bush hunting and things like that. So Gerber LMF II. All right, thank you for joining me on this review. I'll be doing another review in a few days. Until then, you stay safe and stay sharp.